was a great weekend. I mean, very special for, I would say, maybe a little bit more special for G, me, and you being from here and having so many family and friends at the live show and getting to experience the outdoor game with all of them. It was just really cool after all the years of us traveling to every Winter Classic to have it be back home in Boston, and it was great. So I can't believe everything went as smoothly as it did. Shout out G. Shout out everyone behind the scenes. But yeah, I'm here. I'm ready to podcast. I'm at like 70%.
Wait, I got to thank you. Probably the best New Year's Eve I've ever had. Chilling with your Boston friends at your house. You threw an awesome party. Probably you'll never get the sight of memes being fed lobster by your wife out of my brain.
Memes has taken over this city like no one ever before him. It's like David Ortiz, Bobby Orr, and memes. The guy shows up to my house and all my friends just heard him say, "Hey, Bree, is that lobster you're cooking?" And they were like, "Who is this guy?" And he had his NASCAR jacket on and his mullet and his mustache. I love him to death. My friends love him to death. Keith Yandel feels like he's known him forever. The only problem is, and maybe on the YouTube version of this show right now, you could throw up the picture of his goddamn thumb. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my
I have
life.
not seen his thumb yet.
Who called out his thumb? Was it Jans?
Dude, I'm
probably
keep talking about it. Jans goes, "That's from memeing so much." But I guess like the problem is, I think he got slashed in men's league, so it's something that he's gonna have to get looked at by the doctor. But yeah, my wife basically spoon fed him lobster for an hour and a half, and then he had other wives rubbing his back. He's living. It's memes' world, and we're all living in it.
Shit, I wish I knew the lobster was there. I would have came down from
Best part of that night. I know you're a recent Georgia football fan.
8 years, 7 years. Yeah, not too recent, but somewhat, yeah.
That football game was the best football game I've ever watched in my entire life.
Both games were out of this world entertaining, and I think over the past, 7, 8 years of the college football playoff, the semifinals have been pretty brutal overall.
Yep.
Those two games were unreal. The Georgia game, I mean, what an insane comeback. I had a money line. I live bet them 2 or 3 times throughout the game. Made an absolute boatload, but they had no business winning. You called it. We had about 30 guys there watching. You called it maybe the best timeout a coach has ever taken in football history when Kirby decided to just drop that timeout right before the fake punt. So I don't know, a lot of people might not have seen the game. Maybe all you Canadians up there weren't watching, but we had a time watching, and now Georgia gets to take on TCU. They're going to pound them.
No, they've been busting out the lube, and they've been cranking themselves to Connor Bedard at the World Junior. This kid is a mutant. Hey, Colby, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, good to be here.
By the way, we're joined by Colby and Merles, the Chiclets Game Notes boys. They were on the Boston trip with us. They helped us out at the live show. I've never seen a guy play villain quite like Colby Armstrong did coming out in that Pittsburgh Penguins jersey. I'm surprised you didn't get shanked here. But I do want to – were you going to talk about Connor Bedard?
I was going to maybe touch on the ball dropping. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
The funniest thing ever is like – first of all, we do like a kid countdown, which I never knew about.
Genius.
Which is genius.
Yeah,
everyone,
was at about, what,
Chiclets
10?
fans.
Anybody with kids out there who typically allow them to wait up till 12 p.m., listen to what Colby's about to tell
these Wits, like all his buddies and their wives were like, "We're going to do a kids countdown here in like 10 minutes." I'm like, "What's that?" As I'm like mixing another drink. And she told me what it was, your wife. I'm like, "That's the greatest thing ever." They do like a fake countdown at like 10 o'clock or like 9:30 and then piece the kids off to bed. See you later. And it's like they thought they had New Year's.
Yeah,
and
it's like when I changed the clocks at 5 o'clock to 7, like random nights in the winter. I'm like, time for bed. They're like, what the hell? But yeah, no, we had to have the kids at least celebrate and go nuts. But then the fact that the ball drop was as the kick.
The ball drop was literally, I think it was like Puzo was like, he was like, guys, 3, 2. He had like his phone out because we were watching this last kick to win or lose the game. And the guy misses right at the very end, and right when he kicked it, it was
incredible. It actually, I think it hit 0 midnight 2023 as he like made contact with the ball. So the wives were like, "Are we gonna throw on like Ryan Seacrest doing the countdown?" We're like, "No, woof 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 woof, sick 'em, go Dogs!"
The craziest thing was because it was like an explosion, like New Year's happened. It was just degenerate dads hugging each other.
That was Whit making it rain with his cash-did one on that fucking live betting.
I thought that was amazing too. Yeah, that the New Year's at your house with your kids, your family, your friends.
That feels like 3 weeks
amazing.
ago.
And then Bedard last night, insane what he's been doing. Broke a record for but like the move he scored. My wife sent a video of my kid. He was like almost crying because he scored an OT. He thinks he's so sick, but then he did the heartbreaker, Selly.
He did the heartbreaker.
Oh, yeah.
The old Patrick Kane. Well, there was a bit of a panic button being hit after that first game against, how do you say it? Do I got to say Chechnya?
Chechnya.
Chechnya?
Some
Chechnya is like Russia or something.
Czechia.
Well, I don't know who the
Russian.
fuck I'm going to
Czechia. Just say
offend by
Czech
saying it the
Republic.
wrong way these days because it's pretty much impossible to dodge at. But they got worked in that first game, and a little bit too much individual bullshit for Canada. But it seems like they're back on their way to winning. And
I'm not talking World Juniors right now.
Okay,
though.
sorry.
What's going on?
No,
here?
Bedard's
Wait a minute.
sick.
Settle
We have
down
the
with
page
Bedard and
12
World
over here.
Junior talk. We just started 2 seconds ago.
Well, we're not from Boston. I don't
I'm
know.
actually.
I just wanted to get my fucking Team Canada plug in there.
Yeah, I guess also back to the live show quick. Gotta shout out RA, guys. I mean, this guy, his wardrobe's been chirped here or there along the lines of this podcast. This dude looked like a fucking snack, as the kids say when he got out on stage. I think a brand new tailored suit for the ceremony or for the show.
I've worn it once or twice before, but definitely tailor made. Like
Good
custom
for
fit,
you,
yeah.
RA.
Treated
Probably
myself.
the biggest pop too in terms of announcements.
Yep.
I think it was smart. RA, we're like, well, RA, you end up going last as the announcement. Boom, the place exploded for you. So you must have been fired up with all your family and friends there.
Honestly, probably one of the top 3 special nights of my life. Like,
He
Wow.
did
Yeah.
basically. It was like accepting an Academy Award when he got on stage.
Yeah, it was. I mean,
Well, you
know,
look so good, though. You looked so good.
I,
in the
I
suit.
walked down the lobby and like
I didn't even recognize
I saw you. I was like, what the
You all
fuck?
started hooting and hollering. I thought like Bo Derek was behind me or something. I was like, holy shit. Now, yeah, it was like, fuck it. I always say on the show, I look good when I need to or when I have to. And I hope my whole family, all my boys, fucking gal friends there, I'm like, I got to look good tonight. And yeah, the pop was insane. I didn't have any plan, any reaction. I just gave the fucking... I put the arms up. My wife's like, "You look like Richard Nixon up there." I was like, thanks, honey. But it was very special. Like my parents, my old man's 78. He didn't go out much. I said, "Dad, come on out for this one." And I knew I was going to give him a little tribute. And then I kind of got fired up there and got everyone to give my parents a standing O. Because like I said, without them, I don't become a hockey fan. And who the hell knows how the rest of my life plays out. So very special night. And then to see everybody after, then back to local. It was just a very
Well, you told the
special
story on stage. Your first ever Bruins game was when you were in your mom's womb.
Yeah, games 1, 2, and 5 for the 72 Cup. I mean, she was literally late nine months out to here, and I was born like 2 weeks after. And like I just there that whole fucking season. Oh, and then the next day I get up and I got a shitload of texts from my buddies and family stuff. And there's one from my mom, and it's like no text. It's just a picture of you and Biz. I was like, oh no. I was like,
I'm
oh
not-
no.
Oh Jesus.
I was like,
I have
no.
a confession to make.
Oh no, no,
I was
no.
like, I already had one stepdad. I don't need Biz to be my second.
Me and RA's mom are seeing each other. We've made it Facebook official.
Shit.
RA,
Shit, this podcast.
I'm your
change.
father.
Yeah, dude, like a week ago, she's like, "Can you ask Biz where he got that blue sweater he has on all the time?"
That's the one I always
"Oh, no."
ask
I was
about.
like, "She's checking out your fucking clothes a couple weeks ago," and she sent me the picture. So I don't know. I got to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, we've been texting.
I have a few of my family
I
members were feeling it for you, Biz.
I actually got her. I got her the female version of it for her birthday. So just don't tell her. Don't waste.
It's a thong.
Well, that's like you said when I came out, double middle fingers in a Penguins jersey.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I had to hide behind RA like the rest of the night so I don't get stabbed because he's like, buddy, he knew everybody in the neighborhood.
I got a kick out of it though because in Pittsburgh,
blew their
our
mind.
first live show, Army was like kind of number one there. I mean,
Yep.
he's like he lives in Pittsburgh, he had all these family and friends there, and then he comes out with the double middle bird. I'm like, this guy has no clue the enemy that he just.
Oh, it's
made
getting
in the
booed
crowd.
so hard.
You
I
could
started wilting so fast as soon as I sat down. And I looked at, good thing I was sitting next to G. G looks at me and goes, keep it going. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Gotta play the villain card.
The villain card, yeah.
You have to.
I thought I totally blew their brains up, though, a little bit because I came out in a Pens jersey double-fingered. Then I turned around, and it was a Witt jersey.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
they were
yeah.
like, oh, we hate him, but, like, we like Witt. What the... They started to just short-circuit.
Another guy we had come out. Well, obviously Yans was here. Brennan Walsh.
Oh, what a beauty.
Walshy, just classic Walshy stories. He told the legendary Brophy coffee in the face story, which I believe we've turned into a cartoon after the first time he told it. He also reminded us, or maybe G on stage, that after that Brendan Walsh interview, he's been on once, correct?
Yep.
So after that interview, that's when basically G was sitting there watching it and seeing the the way he told the story and like how into it he got and how we're laughing, and that made him decide that we were going to film everything we ever did moving forward with interviews and podcasts.
Well, because when he was going crazy with his hands, I turned my laptop camera on and I start filming it with my laptop camera, which was just ass quality. So I'm like, fuck, we need camera guys. We need to have this always filmed so we can put out the social clips and eventually now do the YouTube pods.
Such a cool connection, right? With that moment.
Oh, yeah.
He made Merle's pay his rent and sign the mortgage. We were laughing about still. Like we saw him at
okay, because these people aren't going to see. You can go with a backstory, Merles.
Yeah, so it was first year pro, and I don't know what I'm doing, and everybody's linking up roommates, and this guy, hey, Merles, come here. We're going to go check out this house over here. And he talks me into renting this like 7-bedroom house with him. And
You'd never met this guy other than training camp.
Just at camp. Like we're a week into camp.
He just speared Merle's like an hour before this.
And like I didn't really have a choice. Like he just completely muscled me into this, and we go over, we rent this beautiful house, and then he gets traded like 3 weeks later, and I get stuck paying the rent on this thing by myself all year. It was unbelievable.
Hey, didn't he get traded? He ended up, I think, telling the story on stage about how he basically baseball swung a guy in the face and then speared him with the broken part of the stick, and how he went to the room and he was all animated.
He's like, that wasn't that bad, right, guys? And they're like,
No, well, he got kicked out and he went into the locker room halfway through, so like with a 10-minute mark. And the way he said it on stage, he goes, so these guys start coming in, and like the first couple guys in the room were Brooks Orpik, Rob Scuderi, and they just finished killing a 37-minute power play. And they're like, and all Walsh cares about is playing lawyer, being like, hey, that was that guy's fault, right?
You guys saw that, right?
That wasn't that bad. And Orpik and Scuds are like, dude, get the fuck out of my face. And then he ends up going, I think who was the coach at the time?
Glenn Patrick.
Glenn Patrick. And then I think he called them in the office during that intermission. Glenn's a pretty calm guy, and he's just tapping his desk with his fingers. And Walshy's like, hey, like, I don't think I'm getting games for that, right? And he's like, Walshy, he goes, you might be playing hockey again, but you ain't going to be playing here. And then they ended up fucking trading him because he got like a 10 or 15 game sussy. So he tells the story way better. We need round 2 of Brennan Walsh, and we will have the cameras on him because the most animated storyteller of all time. The hot lava. The hot lava.
Try playing with the guy. Like, try living with the guy. I got to play with him. You got to play with him, live with him. The connection is awesome. And for him to be a Boston guy, and he has a like Boston super accent too. He's so charismatic and cool.
Did you already mention the part that he put your name on that lease, so you were stuck with
He
the
made him sign the lease
the rest of the year with it.
He's like, Merles, you just sign it. I'll pay you on the side. And then Minahan too. Shout out Kirk Minahan.
Yeah.
He hosted the show. He did a great job. Went out there. It was hilarious. He's like, I don't know if you guys know me, but with my ego, this is very hard that this show isn't entirely about me. But no, we appreciate him coming on. He did a great job. So it was a blast to have everyone together. Yans was his usual hilarious self.
Yep.
I mean, I think Yans made even more jokes to just Merle's off the microphone.
I saw him whispering in his ear like the whole time. Like, and
I had my own live show there with him. He was unbelievable, just chirping everybody.
Oh yeah, he loves the under his breath one-liners, and then as you're the guy telling the story, you're like insecure. You're like, "What are you chirping me about, Yans? You fucker!"
You know he's chirping you.
Yeah,
too.
he's just giving it.
Oh,
to
the
you.
one time when I was getting booed the whole time, and then you like saved me because you called out Biz for not picking Boston to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I
and then
felt so bad for
him and I were
Henry.
on the couch like you two. They wanted to just burn our couch.
I go, yeah, throw
It was
that
like-
coach in the incinerator.
Yeah, I was like, thank God you
That's
did
why
that.
everybody's so nice to me in Boston. I reverse mushed them. They're gonna
Yep.
fucking win the
Yep.
cup because of
Yep.
me. I'll basically do like I did to Colorado or Tampa the year before.
2 Southern teams.
I guess we should also thank the Wilbur Theater. Thank everybody who came to the live show. Our fans,
Amazing.
man, you guys are hardcore. You're rapid. We love you guys, and we want to keep doing these things and putting on shows so we can see you guys in the flesh. And we're never going to air these shows on our YouTube channel. Right?
We might.
Maybe down the road.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
We'll
I
see.
like that
Yeah.
it's.
I
I
like
like,
the
that it's
exclusivity.
special for the people who are there. Sorry to everyone listening who wants to see it.
Oh,
but
my
it's
God.
kind of like you got to get tickets to see this stuff.
I just
go down.
remembered one thing I did. I was throwing a pink Whitney nip to a guy, and you know how we have like monitors and like sound things in front of us? He was down low enough that like I underhand tossed him that like hid behind the monitor just enough. Good thing he was wearing glasses, just like clinked him right in the eye. I was like, oh my God, so sorry. He's like, cool. Then he drank it. So I was like, oh my God.
One cool moment to end off the live show discussion. Jake Tebeau was there.
Yeah.
And you gave you spoke on the mic very heartfelt, and I think him and his family really appreciated it.
Yeah, it's like Jake says, it's a shitty way to become pals with somebody, but we've really become pals. We text all the time. He's just such a great kid, and when I met his family when he was down Spalding in Charlestown, I walk in and I've never been in a situation like that before. Meeting a kid in that situation, I was kind of nervous, and right when I walk in, his dad's like beer or wine. I was like, we click with the family right away. I've been to the house a couple times, and it was great to get those guys there. And my dad wanted to meet him, and he got to meet my old man. And yeah, it made the special night even more special to have the Tebeaus.
And for those who are listening who don't know the backstory, Jake Tebeau, he was paralyzed playing in a hockey game.
Yeah, Milton Academy last year. Yeah, from the waist down, and the kid, he said to his I think his headmaster, "I'm going to walk at graduation." And less than a year later, we had the video. He stood up and put the brace on. He fucking walked. It was the hardest thing he ever did, and it made me so proud. And like I said, he's a great kid from a great family, and I'm happy to call them friends.
He's amazing. I got to meet him too at our events. Amazing family, amazing guy. Now I text with him too.
Yeah,
just a great guy. He fit in so easy. It was so easy, his family and everything.
Yeah.
There's such great people. I got to meet so many great people here in Boston. It's been a great trip.
Yeah.
Also, thanks to Game On and Local, Shawzy took care of us.
Yes,
Local,
my boy Shawzy at Local. That place was
it.
buzzing.
And I saw a couple guys from down the street, Ricky Bell, Michael Bivens, and Ronnie DeVoe. Bell Biv DeVoe crushed the national anthem with Boston Pub yesterday. The old BBD New Edition guys got to shout them out.
They sounded great.
They did sound great. It was great to have those guys there. And also, too, so many fans from around the world. I mean, I talked to people from Scotland, England. They came from Vancouver, all over. And, hockey fans are the best. So awesome weekend, awesome time, and thanks to everybody who came. It was epic stuff.
And quickly about the outdoor situation next year, Seattle.
Oh,
that's
yes.
a fucking great place to have it. And then, of course, with the inaugural season, or not the inaugural season,
Who they playing?
Vegas, the last two franchises.
What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Sure.
Outdoor.
What are the new teams called?
I'm just going to shut up.
Yeah. So we might have to get the PJ for that one if we're going to fly out to that one.
Oh, my God, all right. Jesus. Just worry about packing a suit,
Expansion, Biz? Expansion?
Expansion. Thank you. The expansion
Great job,
teams.
Army.
I went to my guy Murr here. He had a college guy.
All right,
Game notes guy.
That wrap it up for the Boston trip, boys. Any final notes?
I don't know. Producer G, what do you think, buddy?
Just feel lucky. I mean, I think that's kind of, they said it really, being from Boston, just being able to go back and do that in front of your friends and family, it just really made me feel lucky and made me feel
you were
thankful.
fucking crying the rest of the night because of how emotional you were about the whole experience.
Was I really?
No, you were.
Again, bunch of Pink Whitney nips.
Could have been the wolf, too.
Yeah, don't remember the second half of that night. But again, thankful for all the fans, thankful that I could do it in front of my friends and family, and thankful for you guys for giving me this life. Because when I'm sitting up there, I look, it's NHL player, NHL player, NHL player, NHL player, R.A. Grinelli. And I'm like, what am I doing up here? So just super thankful.
No, we said it at the show, buddy. We pumped your tires. Everything that happens behind the scenes
everything
that goes unseen. Social media, putting all the posts out, organizing everything. It's all you, Grinnell. You're a fucking incredible producer. Along with all the rest of the guys.
Team here.
We got Sean Apuzzo. Yeah. We already mentioned Memes. We got Pasha. Fish, who's a bit of a wild card weirdo. I don't know where he's sitting right now. And
Quader too.
And McQuaid. So
And
thank
the
you to the
girls,
whole crew.
Julia and Hannah setting us up with the tickets yesterday and the parties.
Absolutely. We're snapping around the
I'll say this,
right
though,
now.
too. G has to handle all of us idiots and all of them too, and we're
Herding
last minute dinging them hey, you got 3 more tickets. Hey, he's got 3. It was crazy. So he's at home with all his family, all your friends, RA and Wit, and all you guys, and you still made it comfortable for us traveling in guys coming in here, and still got the full Boston experience.